Hey, you listen to Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, episode 115. This is Grady Hooker, and live on Skype we got Josh.
Hey.
And we may have Brandon, depending on when our technical issues fix themselves.
Yep, it's fixed.
Oh,
so I'm here.
And we have Brandon. What do we got? We got the opening match of Elimination Chamber, the extremely unique tag team Elimination Chamber.
Yeah, and I think it was kind of surprising to see the primetime players end up being the last team eliminated.
In this match, we definitely got a resurgence, at least, of the Ascension, in terms that they debuted, then they fell pretty hard, and they got to eliminate, I believe, 2 teams. But we also got the primetime players putting on a show and becoming the last team to be eliminated. So you're showing that there's still a couple more credible threats to the titles.
Yeah, I thought this chamber was just a good showcase of the tag team division.
It was an amazing match. Not just an amazing chamber match, it was an amazing match. The New Day having all 3 stuck in there was, I thought you'd get more comedy out of it, but they never seemed to cut to them.
Yeah, the only thing that ever happened with them in the pod was Callisto getting stuck in the pod.
They did quite a few things throughout the night with the pods, but Callisto got stuck in there, 10 minutes of the match?
Yeah, he was... Because they grabbed his leg and just pulled him through to it where he couldn't... He was stuck there.
You learn your lesson, you climb empty pods.
And then eventually Callisto climbed to the top and dropped on everybody.
And El Torito also.
And El Torito got caught.
Yeah. I thought it was an amazing match. The ending was, in terms of who won, not very surprising. But I am going to guess that our next match will have primetime players, just because they were the last eliminated.
Yeah, and on Raw, I thought the primetime players were awesome.
Have they finally built back up to where they were before the Abraham Washington incident?
I think they're actually above it.
They were above that before they broke them up last time.
Fair enough. What is our next match? The Divas triple threat match for the title.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed that Naomi didn't win.
Road to 200.
Yeah, I think at this point they've got to be going for a very high number if Nikki keeps retaining.
Yeah, I think they'll just go better hold on to the title to beat AJ's reign just to spite AJ Lee.
The division itself, though, could really have been helped with a title change here.
Yeah, just bored with Nikki Bella as champion. It's not that she is stale in the ring. She's just stale as a character right now.
She's the female Big Show.
Fair call.
Yeah, on Raw, what was up with supposed to be baby faces?
I don't know.
Well, they're feuding with Paige, who's the face, so therefore they have to go heel.
But remember, there are no alignments in the Divas division.
Just crazy women.
It's still a great line.
And it's still true.
Yeah, with everybody's flips lately. I'm going to call this next match the surprise of the night, and then I'm going to be corrected with people who expected it. But Kevin Owens cleanly defeating John Cena in a 20-minute spectacular.
You could not have asked for a better debut for Kevin Owens. He did not have to win that match. He proved he belonged. Him winning the match, though, was icing on the cake.
He has made his statement.
Yeah, what I'm going to say is that nobody will ever be Brock Lesnar. But if somebody's going to eventually match that or
I could definitely see him being that destructive force, but I don't remember much of early Brock Lesnar, but he also has the moveset behind him.
That superplex counter. I've never seen anything like that.
What do we have? We had the superplex counter, we had the moonsault off the top rope, we had the, what are we calling it, a package sidewalk slam or something like that?
I guess.
Yeah, package pile driver, tease right into a sidewalk slam. Yeah, for a minute there, I actually thought he was going to hit that pile driver.
Clearly, as Owens himself has said, you know who he is now.
We've always known on the internet who Kevin Owens is or Kevin Steen is, but it's just the casual fans who know now that Kevin Owens is not a joke. He's not going to be fed to John Cena. He will be a credible threat.
As long as they continue to keep him being a credible threat. So we'll go classic entrance theme. It is No Way Out 2000s theme on the tracks. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. So we'll go on to the next match. Neville versus Bo Dallas.
I felt so bad for this match. It had to follow the previous match. But then again, anything that followed the previous match was going to be outshadowed. Even the main event.
I think after that incredible match, the only thing that could have followed them was these two.
It was
in
a decent
terms
match.
of it being
Nothing,
a filler.
nowhere near what they had done in NXT.
But you had to
Probably
keep...
to calm the crowd back down before the main event.
Yeah. You can't keep them Owens Cena hyped the whole way through. But Neville was still a credible threat to, I guess we can still call them the mid-card titles.
Yeah, I think that's eventually going to be his role in the WWE. It's just hard to see Vince McMahon invest in Neville because of his appearance, let's say.
Fair enough.
Well, he invested in a garden gnome as WWE World Heavyweight Champion.
And then his garden gnome got injured
Yeah,
twice. It
Yeah,
shattered.
I think there's just something missing from Neville from a character standpoint. But that was the same case with Daniel Bryan. He was missing something as a character. But then he became the yes man. And he became very connected to the crowd. And I think that's just what Neville is missing. Right now he just flips and all that. But something as a character is just missing from him to connect with the fans.
Fair enough. We'll move on. The Elimination Chamber match for the vacant Intercontinental title. Ryback, R-Truth, Sheamus, King Barrett, Dolph Ziggler, and Rusev's replacement, Mark Henry.
Yeah, bad match, but a great
more. I am so happy about the outcome of this match. I never saw it coming, but I was happy for it.
Looking back, was it the right decision?
Yes.
I don't know if it was. Well, it depends. Where the competitors stood when the bell rang. Yes, I think Ryback was a great decision, but if it wasn't Mark Henry, maybe it was a guy like Randy Orton or Bray Wyatt, I think that they should have won the match. But I think Ryback was still a very good choice.
And
I think really the only option other than Ryback really would have been Rusev himself had he not gotten hit.
that's a fair enough comment, but it's still weird to me that Ryback hadn't won, like a major title.
Yeah, he was quickly pushed to the main event, and then he quickly fell back down to the mid card, then became a jobber in Ryback. But it's kind of amazing the ride Ryback has had in the WWE.
Luckily, with the prestige that they've given back to the mid-card titles, that this is a big thing.
Well, the big guy is going to be a big thing for the Intercontinental Championship. I think he's finally ready to be in that kind of position, and he's humbled enough to realize it could end at any time.
Mm-hmm.
And that I think he's going to enjoy being the champion, and I think he's going to put on some good matches. Not his first title defense though. That may not be a good match.
Who is it?
The Big Show.
Uh,
He finally uncovered himself from that mountain of rubble that he was buried under by Roman Reigns, to decide that he wants to beat Ryback for the Intercontinental Championship.
Yeah, I heard The Miz may also be put into the IC title scene after Big Show took him out.
The Miz got knocked the heck out by the Big Show.
good?
I don't think he wanted anything to be anywhere near that situation.
I don't know, but you can definitely see, like, some people knock Ryback's in-ring skill and stuff like that, but you can see his passion when Daniel Bryan presented him with the belt.
Yeah, people aren't connected to Ryback because of his in-ring ability. They're connected to him because they know this guy is dedicated and he cares.
Ryback's a lot better wrestler than people give him credit for. Yeah, he's a little reckless at times, but he's a better wrestler than people think.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. He isn't like a flashy guy, but he fills his role perfectly as a powerhouse.
It's his natural charisma that people have connected with. I kept saying that before he was injured, people were wanting to chant for him. They were wanting to cheer for him, even though he was still a jobber heel. Because you could hear the crowds. They were murmuring. They were wanting it. And then he goes away with the injury and comes back and immediately is hugely over again.
It's definitely a sign to show you that he has the charisma.
Yeah, and I think he's improving on the mic as well, which I think is a huge key to whether he will be a future world champion or not.
I say his health is going to be the biggest determiner on whether or not he becomes a world champion or not. I think if he can stay healthy and not get hurt, I think he will eventually become a world champion. Because Ryback has everything you need to be a champion. It's just a matter of everything falling into place.
Okay, so on that note, we'll go to our current theme. It is this year's Elimination Chamber theme, Coming for You. And you're back with Wrestling Roundup, FreeFM 89.0, Grady, Josh, and Brandon. So we just realised while that song was playing, we didn't actually talk about that Elimination Chamber match at all. Just about Ryback for about 5 minutes.
Not that there was anything wrong with that.
No.
The match wasn't that good.
We had a couple of things. We had someone going through the cell door, releasing Mark Henry early.
A lot of people went through cell doors, it seemed.
Yeah. We had Sheamus blocking his. It had the classic chamber spots in terms of that stuff. It didn't stand up to the tag team one in my mind.
Yeah, my theory is that Rusev was a huge part of this match, and they had a lot of things planned, and they had to just redo it at the last minute because they didn't really know his status. So that's my theory as to why it was horrible.
I just think they had too many big guys in the match. But there wasn't really a lot of guys that could do different things with the cell and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially with Mark Henry. What can he do besides just smash people around? That's it.
There was a lot of times when Mark Henry was doing a spot, and you could pretty much tell that was a Rusev spot. But we got to get to the main event. Dean Ambrose, Seth Rollins, World Heavyweight Champion.
I almost think that night was a test to see the reaction of people if Ambrose actually won the championship for real.
If it was a test, he passed.
I definitely had that thought in my mind too, and I think you could very well be right. The reaction was huge.
Seth Rollins had the best reaction, though.
Yes.
I don't even know what to call it, like the bug-eyed, surprised face.
I think he kind of looks like a crazy hamster or something like that. That's a weird way to describe it, but
I'd go with crazy hamster.
The test came back negative.
Has a crazy hamster in it. I swear it looks just like Seth Rollins in that picture. So.
He got a surprise proctology exam by Joey Mercury.
Just stepped away from the mic. But Dean Ambrose really showed himself in this match. And we get a rematch at Money in the Bank.
With the title hanging above the ring, as I expected would be the case.
Will this time we actually get the Dean win?
No, I don't think we will. But you never know.
Yeah, I think the purpose of it being a ladder match is to protect Dean Ambrose and continue this feud to the next pay-per-view, which is, I don't know, what is the next pay-per-view?
I don't know. There's rumors of another special event being held on the 28th.
And I've actually heard rumors that the WWE writers actually like the idea of having pay-per-views every 2 weeks.
If there is no special in between, it's Battleground.
And by the way, the 28th is the same night TNA is doing one of their only 2 pay-per-views of the year.
2 pay-per-views compared to 24 pay-per-views?
One doesn't do enough, one does too many.
Yeah. I like 12.
Yeah, so if they do that, it's going to take away 3 out of the 7 viewers of that TNA pay-per-view.
And 2 others are going to be watching Ring of Honor instead. Now going to be the lead-in to Impact Wrestling.
Yeah, thinking about that may actually help TNA, because I think people were like, oh, TNA is coming on, might as well just keep it on.
I bet they don't think that.
Yeah, probably not.
But we have got 6 of the participants for the Money in the Bank match announced. We got Dolph Ziggler, Neville, Roman Reigns, Randy Orton, Kofi Kingston, and Sheamus.
With more to be
two
added
that
later.
have already won a briefcase in this match. So I'm throwing them out automatically. They're not going to win.
Can I just ask, what's up with Kofi?
Kofi's there for one purpose.
Spot
Monkey.
He's there to do flips and things off of ladders to make people go ooh and ah.
You got Neville to do that. It seems weird that you'd pull out
Neville's
one.
there to do a red arrow from the top of a 20-foot ladder.
Yeah. Seems weird you'd put one of the 3 members of the tag team champions in a match like that. I want to see the storyline for that, if it's ever addressed, or if it's just, he's in there.
If these were just going to be the only 6 men in this match, it would be guaranteed Roman Reigns would walk out with that briefcase.
Yeah, there's nobody in that match who would have a logical reason to win with the current booking of WWE besides Roman Reigns. And on Raw last night, they very, very heavily teased Roman Reigns winning the contract.
They're definitely going Reigns and Dean as a unit.
I said the night that Seth Rollins cashed in on Roman Reigns, that it would be poetic justice that Roman Reigns wins the briefcase and then turns around and does the same thing to Seth Rollins at SummerSlam during his match with Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
And wins the championship.
We will call you the all-seer genie of predictions when that happens.
Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, I did see the call getting overturned last night.
Yeah. Do you prefer the 2 or the 4? That's 2 weeks or 4 weeks between pay-per-views. I have a feeling.
It depends. I wouldn't like it to be year-round, but I do like the idea of network exclusive shows in between some pay-per-views.
Okay.
I'm kind of like that as well. I don't think it would be a good idea to do unless they were going to bring back brand extension. If they're going to bring back brand extension, then I'd be all right with it, because then you would have different storylines leading into each one, and the build would be a little bit better for it. But if it's going to be as it is now, that's just overkill.
I did hear those rumors that they want 3 touring brands, NXT, their main brand, and a third. Just saying, rumors are flying. Samoa Joe. What, we got like a minute left. Samoa Joe is main roster now?
I wouldn't say so. It may have been just a one-time thing on WWE Superstars.
So what's the Betty Answers Owens Open Challenge?
0, because Kevin Owens is winning that match.
Okay.
I don't know. I do know one thing. He does have a full-time contract with the WWE now.
Yeah.
Yep. As soon as his last
finishing
date in August is done, I think he is going to be on a WWE exclusive contract.
And the WWE is not going to let him be on ROH TV.
No.
Or not with ROH TV being syndicated on a national broadcast. It would be one thing if it was still on the Sinclair network works, because those are spotty at best, but not Destination America.
Okay, so it's been great talking to you two.
Peace out.
Same to you.
You can visit our Facebook page, facebook.com/Wrestling Roundup Radio, or our Twitter page, twitter.com/Wrestling Radio. I'll see you next week.